All right, guys, today we're going to go over, ordering and comparing rational numbers. Uh, Looks like they did the evens up here, so I'm going to start with them. I'll explain these thoroughly to you, and then you can do numbers 17 and 19. You'll be doing the odds today. Okay, so for number 16, it says 5 over 7 is less than 2 over 7. Well, they proved this by going and making lines on the number line in increments of -1, 7. And why do they do that? Well, if this is a -5 over 7, this is a -2 over 7. That tells me that 7 over 7 would be 1, because any number over itself equals 1. So it stands to reason then that any number over itself that's negative will equal -1. So over here we have, we're going from 0 to -1. Why? Because these are both negative numbers. And if we do, we see that -2/7 is over here and -5/7 is here. Well, since my positive numbers are here and my negative numbers are here, the number that's closest to my positive numbers is going to be the greater number, which makes this correct. Now, another way we can do this is using our calculator. And let's go ahead and get rid of some of these things written here for a second. Give me some room. And if I did use my calculator, I would see that I would have, if I did -5 over 7, okay, let's see, -5 divided by 7 is going to equal 0.714, okay? And that should be a -0.714. Make sure the calculator is operating correctly here. We're going to have 5 divided by 7, 5, negative, divided by 7 equals, there you go, -0.714. Now let's take the other one, -2 divided by 7. 2 divided by 7 is going to equal -0.28. -0.28. Now, right away, you might think, well, Mr. Mendez, this did not come out right because obviously, -0.28, -714 is bigger than 28. But wait a minute, remember, again, if we're putting this on a number line, okay, from 1 to 100, let's say, or from 0 to 100, 0 being over here and 100 being over here, we have to remember these are both have negative signs in front of it, which means, again, my positive sides are over here. -0.28 would actually be a greater number than -714. All right? So their symbol of 5 over 7 is less than -2 over 7. -5 over 7 is less than -2 over 7. That's correct. Let's go to number 18. This one says 4 over 7 is less than 5 over 8. This is a little more harder, but not really. We have to remember we have to change the decimal or the denominators to be the same. To do that, we have to multiply each one to the other. So we'll take 7 times 8 over here. All right. And if we multiply the bottom number by 8, we have to multiply the top number by 8. And that's why 4 over 7 becomes 4 times 8 is 32, 7 times 8, 56, 32 over 56. Now, 5 over 8 becomes, well, again, we're going to multiply to the other one. So this time we'll have 7 times 5 and 7 times 8. And we get 35 over 56. And now we have to look at the top numerator numbers. Which one is bigger? Well, 32 is less than 35. So we can say then that 4 over 7 is less than 5 over 8. All right, let's go on to number 20. Number 20 says, Gracia, looks like Gracia there, and Jim were shooting free throws. Gracia made 4 out of 15. 4 out of 15 free throws. It says, though, that Jim missed 6 out of 16. Let's look at that really good. Remember, she made this, but Jim missed this. Who made the free throws a greater fraction of time? Well, first of all, if he missed 6, how many did he get out of 10? Well, that left 10. So 10 out of 16 free throws he made. Well, automatically, I'm thinking this has got to be bigger. But let's check it out, shall we? If I were to go ahead and do this, I'd probably use my calculator. And I'd say, what is 4 divided by 15? Well, 4 divided by 15 is going to give me 0.26 repeating. So that equals 0.26 repeating. Now we've got 10 divided by 16. 10 divided by 16 will give us 0.625. 0.625. And as we can see, 0.625, since these are both positive numbers, is greater than 0.26. So who made the free throw a greater fraction of the time? I'm going to have to go with Jim. Because missing 6 out of 10 left him making 10 out of 16. All right, number 22. Order each set of numbers from least to greatest. Ooh, least to greatest. Well, let's try this out here. First of all, let's look at these and think, how can I do these the easiest? I've got 2 decimals here, right? And automatically, tells me I'm going to work with decimals, okay? In this case, we're going to go ahead and turn this fraction, okay, into a decimal. But let's see which one's greater here. Well, negative 1.4 or negative 1.25. Well, if I was to make my number line, and we remember that negative 1 is both going to be past 1. So this would be 1 over here. Over here would be my 0. And now I'd have, let's see, this says 0.4, this is 0.25. And I know that 0.25 is closer to 0 than 0.4. So my greater number is going to be negative 1.25. All right? So it says from least to greatest. Right now, negative 1.25 is going to be greater than negative 1.4. But we still have one number left in the running here. And that one is negative 1 and 1 over 25. So let's try that out. If I were to do this, I see that I have to turn this fraction into a decimal. Remember, there's a number of ways to do it. One would be, well, how do I turn 25 into 100? Well, 25 into 100 is going to be 4. We need 4 to do that. So we would say that we'd have 1 over 25, and I could multiply the top and bottom by 4. And that's going to leave me 4 over 100. As we can see, that means I would have to take my top numerator, move my decimal over twice, and get 0.04. But let's do it the easy way, shall we? Using my calculator, I can say that 1 divided by 25 is going to give me 0.04, just like I said. So this number here is actually, let's see, negative 1.04. Now, as we can see, if we had the number line again, and this was 2, and over here is 1, well, we did say that negative 1 0.25, oh, remember this is 0 over here, so these are all negative numbers we're dealing with. That would be somewhere over here. Negative 1.25 would be here, and negative 1.4 would be here. But look, we have negative 0.04, and that's going to be somewhere in between here. And since it's closer to my positive sides, that tells me it is the greatest number out of all of them. So if I had to order these, I would say the least would be negative 0.1, I'm sorry, negative 1.4. This point shouldn't be there. Let's correct that. Negative 1.4. The next highest would be negative 1.25, and the last one would be negative 1.04. And that would be them in order. All right, let's go to number 20. Oh, well, it looks like I've done all the even ones, so the rest are up to you. Have a great night.